Good morning everybody and welcome to Jim's 5am Club, and this morning I am coming to you from Campbell's Cove. I'm just up here on the landing where the international passenger terminal is, and I'm just overlooking the beautiful Campbell's Cove. And let's just have a look what else we can see. There's the harbour bridge up there. You can see there's another gentle westerly breeze blowing today. It's been westerlies for a while. So I learnt years ago that the wind is you name the wind from where it comes from, so from the source, not where it's going. So it's coming from the west, and because it's coming from the west, it's called a westerly. Anyway, I'm up here on this little lookout up here, and you've got a 360 view of the most beautiful city in the world, my city of Sydney. You've got the Opera House over there. You've got ferries, rivercraft moving through the harbour, going on their daily journeys. And then we pan around here and we get to see the magnificent skyscape of Sydney, the cityscape. And as you can see, there's lots of building activity happening with cranes all over the place. Wherever you look, you'll see a crane. There's a couple of cranes up there on top of the casino. We've got a crane down the bottom here. You've got the Lend-Lease cranes over there where I'm working, and cranes everywhere, multiplex, the other one's over here. So it's a hive of activity, as you can see, and it's good. Just because COVID-19's hit us doesn't mean that we're going to slow down, doesn't mean that we're going to stop, and doesn't mean that we're going to give up hope. Anyway, while I've got you here today, I just want to have a chat to you about a topic that I've got near and dear to my heart. And it's an unusual topic that I've selected today to chat about. And today's topic is how to catch a prawn, and the lessons that we get from the knowledge of how to catch a prawn. Let's walk and talk. I'll just head back to Circular Quay and we'll chat away as we're going. When I was a young man, or just when I turned 12, I used to go on holidays with my Auntie Frida and my cousin Anna, and we used to go down south every Christmas for about 6 weeks to just bask in the sun, to fish, to swim, to socialise, to eat, and of course to catch prawns. Here we are. We've got the fresh water just kicking off from wharf number 3 on its way to Manly today. Another beautiful sight. I love those Manly ferries. They're just big, powerful, and they just churn that water. Anyway, let's continue talking about the topic for today. The topic which comes unedited, unplanned, unscripted, and just very, very random indeed. Comes from the heart, and the objective is to be authentic with our messaging and not to have an agenda behind it. So today's lesson on how to catch a prawn is really interesting, because prawns can be really, really easy to catch, or really, really difficult, if not impossible to catch if you don't know what you're doing. There are 2 types of prawn catching techniques, depending on the time of the moon cycle. When prawns are on the surface of the water, when they're at night, the way you catch a prawn is you need a net, a scoop net, and you need a lantern with a bright light. And what you do is you go into the water to about waist deep or thigh deep, and you walk along with your lantern, and if the prawn comes to the surface, because they usually come to the surface where they see that bright light, when they come to the surface, they're very easy to catch. All you do is just put the net underneath it and just scoop it up, and you've got it. So you can get it from below, really, really easy. But that rising prawn happens very rarely, and usually on a full moon they'll start rising to the surface, and they'll all be just on the surface, and you just scoop them up and catch as many as you want. However, most other times the prawns are down on the ground, on the sand. So as you're slowly walking through the water, wading through the water with your light, you'll see their pinky eyes down on the sand. And the way you catch them is really, really unique. And it's counterintuitive, because most people would probably put the net in front of the prawn or behind the prawn and then just scoop, expecting to see the prawn at the back of the net there, just caught up in the webbing. However, I learnt the technique from, I forget who I learnt it from. I think maybe my Auntie Frida taught me, or even my cousin Anna. But we learnt that prawns move to the side. So they dart to the side. So in order to catch a prawn, the technique that we use is that we place the net on one side of the prawn, away from the prawn of course, so we don't alarm it. So you gently put your scoop net to the side of the prawn, and on the other side of the prawn you slowly put your foot on the other side of the prawn, and then you flick your toe, and with the flicking of the toe the sand flicks up, and the prawn underneath the water there darts to the opposite side, and it usually ends up in the back of your net. So the trick to catching prawns which are not on the surface is that you put it to the side. You put your net to the side, and from the other side you flick up the sand, you make a commotion, and the prawn will dart off to the side to try and escape. And that's the way you catch a prawn. So the big lesson for all of us is that catching prawns, like doing lots of things in our lives, is counterintuitive. It means it's the opposite to what you think it's going to be. But once you learn the technique, and once you learn the habits of the prawn, then your success rate increases dramatically. Similarly with fishing, and with many, many things in our lives, with parenting, with managing people, there are many techniques that we learn along the way, and there are techniques which in some ways are intuitive and other ways are counterintuitive. I think the most important lesson that I've learned in terms of human behaviour is that there are people, and many of us fall trap to this, who don't respond to instruction, but as the Greeks say, xerokefali, and will do the exact opposite. Which once again, once you know that a person is not the sort of person to follow rules and will do the exact opposite, then all you do is you apply the opposite, and you play opposites with them, and they fall into your trap every single time. So I guess the lesson there is very, very simple. Once you understand a person's habits, once you understand a person's personality type, once you understand what makes them tick or what makes you tick, then you're well on the way to becoming more effective with your management and with your influencing techniques. Take some time to pay attention and observe how people operate. And it will work. It'll help you in your negotiations. It will help you with your work relationships, your family relationships, because we all tick and we all tick differently. But once you know how we tick, then we're easy to work with, easy to deal with, and life becomes much easier for everybody. Anyway, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly of all, let's take a lesson from the prawn metaphor, the prawn example that I used, and let's learn how to manage our relationships with the people around us so we cater to their needs, we cater to their strengths and weaknesses, and we operate in a way which allows us to all get the same outcome but with minimal fuss. Remembering there are people who work in opposites. You say yes, they'll say no. So the way you get them to do things is you say no to get them to do yes. So just work it. It's a game at the end of the day. Learn the game, learn how to play the game, and your life will be so much easier and so much more fulfilling. Take care, and until tomorrow, until we meet again, I look forward to chatting to you from Jim's 5am Club. We'll find another location, we'll find another topic, and we'll come to you so that we both gain, so we both learn, develop, and hopefully pass it on. I'm looking forward to hearing your lessons whenever you get a chance as well. Take care. Yasas. Bye for now.